Hey, what's up?
Hey, could you help me with a project?
I don't know. I'm kind of busy with homework.
It's pretty short. I can show you the script and stuff. Are you at the CSA?
No. No, I'm not at the CSA.
Well, where are you? I can come to you.
What, bro?
Hey, come on. It won't take hardly any time at all.
Dude, you say that every time.
Look, I can show you how short the script is. Where are you going? Like humanities? The dorms?
No, none of those places. See ya. You and your stupid movies, bro.
It's not always easy making a movie. But then again, it may not be as hard as you think. Everything you just saw before now was filmed and edited entirely on the iPhone, just using the phone's camera and the free app. My name is Daniel Fleming, and today we'll be talking about local film production in Mobile, Alabama. I'm currently the creative director of JAG TV, a film studio run entirely by students at the University of South Alabama. In fact, everything after this was filmed live by students of a TV studio class. Hopefully with this show, we can get the word out to any young creatives out there that if you're passionate about what you do, you can make something truly worthwhile. It just takes learning, practice, and dedication. The first thing we have to share with you today is a short film from JAG TV. It's not long and it was filmed all in a single afternoon. When we come back, we'll have a special guest with us, so I hope you'll stay tuned. But for now, let's watch a movie.
Damn, I'm getting hungry. You bring anything to eat?
Yeah, actually, I did.
No.
Your favorite.
Oh, that's very funny. I'm talking about real food.
Look, I didn't know we'd be out here this long, right? You sure our guys in there?
Well, hell yeah, I'm sure. My informant's too much of a wuss to give me bad intel. Hey, just don't get me shot, huh, rookie?
It's one guy. I think I'll be fine.
Well, you don't ever know what you're walking into with these things. And I've read your jacket, your time as a beat cop. I know Boy Scouts like you who want to serve find it's not easy to pull the trigger on a live target.
You weren't there, okay? You don't know what happened.
I know that your partner got caught in the crossfire and you froze up and were too scared to do anything about it. Hey, I don't want that happening to me, okay? Yeah, that sounds like danger. Let's go.
Luis! Police! Hands up! Police! Freeze! Don't reach for it.
Call it in.
You killed him.
I just saved your life.
He was gonna surrender.
He was going for his gun.
We should have taken him in.
Hey, look, kid, I know this is all new for you, but this isn't Quantico. You want to live, you take every tactical advantage you can.
This isn't right and you know it.
Damn, you're green. Where do they find you rookies at? These are the bad guys. You better learn to pull the trigger, or you better find a new job, or you're going to find a grave soon. You gonna call it in or what?
You haven't holstered your weapon yet?
What are you talking about, kid? I see you hadn't hosted yours.
1052, I need an ambulance on my location, stat. I'm not afraid to pull the trigger. I'm just trying to save the guy at the other end of the barrel. I'm trying to save you, West.
It's too late for me, kid.
No, it's never too late.
Still far from perfect, but we are learning, and that's genuinely the most important thing. Our first guest today is Kelly Shiraz. She runs the Mobile Film Office, coordinates with all the movies filming in town, big and small, and she's here with us to talk a little more about the film industry in Mobile and what it's like. Kelly, thank you very much for joining us. I know you tend to have a busy schedule.
Thanks for having me.
Well, our first question, just like, how long have you been working with the film office, and what's it like there?
So, officially with the film office, I've been the director of the film office for a year, but I've been with the office for 3 years, and prior to that, I worked in the film industry in Mobile, so I had a lot of interaction with the film office throughout my film career.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I hear you do fair amount of work with high school film students and helping them with their projects. What's that like, especially like compared to working with the movies that come to town?
So working with the students is a different experience, but it's all about creating a workforce development program, giving students the opportunity to learn and grow as they're developing their skills, whether it's middle schoolers, high schoolers, or college students. We've created programs that kind of work with all of them, from our in the classroom learning classes where we team up with local public schools and private schools to bring filmmakers into the classroom. We've just did one with Baldwin Prep. We've done one with Baker High School. We've gone all through Mobile County, and we're even branching into Baldwin County at this point. And so it's cool to see the students bring their projects to life, but also on a different level of how creative. There's so much talent in Lower Alabama, from the little ones, working with, getting to watch the Mobile County Public School Film Festival every year, like how much talent there is just in our school system. So the program's kind of grown. And then we have the Shadow program, which is targeted at our high school to college age students to help bring, put them on sets, get them real world experience, build those resumes, make the networking connection. So when they do graduate or when they decide where they want to go in life, they have a path. And we try to work with each student individually to create that path. Whether the student wants to work in camera, or they want to direct, or they want to work in sound, we're trying to create those opportunities little by little.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, it sounds. I mean, yeah, that's something that I think is cool. Is just trying to, build up the local industry, local creatives. I know there's several local production companies. How many movies are from out of town, or what kind of work did the local production companies do? Is it more like commercials, or?
So every year's a little different. With the state of the industry right now, our commercials are through our local production company. That's the infrastructure of Mobile. I mean, that's the infrastructure of Lower Alabama, really, and even across the state, is the local production companies, because they're creating the workforce. They're creating, giving the opportunities for people to work on commercials, and they pump out. I mean, right now we've probably pumped out 190 commercials already for this year, and that's all different production companies, all in the Lower Alabama area, and that's just what's being reported in, because they've asked for help, or they've let us know. Films this year has been a little bit on the slower side, but that's just with incentives and just the competitive market it is. But our film crew is working. They're just working elsewhere, whether it be in different parts of the state or outside the state. As far as movies go, some years are really great. Right now, we're more on past projects are starting to get pumped out and released versus us actually actively shooting films. But last week we had a production company from Florida in town shooting a docuseries. We've had companies in shooting commercials, and then we've had our local production companies that are really working with local small businesses to promote them, and that's building the community and the structure.
Right, yeah. In fact, one of the commercials that we filmed with Braxton's project, which he's going to be on the set in just a little while, was an ad for the bakery that operates out of the place where he works. That, like one of those like movie ads where the character of the movie like comes in. But I imagine it's pretty exciting working on like with the big stuff as well as the local stuff. I mean, local stuff like the community, that's pretty special. But it can't hurt when like a big actor comes to town, and it must seem kind of cool. Or maybe it becomes kind of mundane. I know Life of Chuck was filmed here and is about to come out in theaters soon, I think, unless it already has. I know one of our film graduates, Ryan, worked on that as the sound guy.
Yeah, it was really awesome to see Ryan as a student getting the opportunity with Brett to be a sound utility on that, and that was really cool. And that was part of working through the introduction, that we were able to connect Brett and Ryan together, and that's really cool to see that workforce development, because that's taken Ryan all over the place now. But with The Life of Chuck, it's cool to see how many areas that film touched. We filmed in Bay Minette, we filmed in Daphne and Fairhope and Mobile, and in Mobile we probably had, and Owa and Foley. I mean, there's a whole set in Foley, and that's really cool that was the small town. In Spanish Fort, you've got the house and all over the place. But in Mobile, it was cool. We got to shut down Dolphin Street, flip it around, put a traffic light up. A lot of moving pieces to make that happen for that film. But that's where our community is such a wonderful part of it. making a movie isn't just the crew or just the cast. It's a lot of different people that go into making a movie, specifically your community, because without the community letting you in to, use their homes or use their local businesses or work with you when you want to close a street. Even on that movie, we were lucky enough that the location managers went over to Barton Academy, which was sitting right from the film set, to show them filming happening through a tablet and explain how it worked, which was really nice for the students to get to see something that was happening literally a street over from them. So Life of Chuck's a special movie. It's probably one for the fact that it's Stephen King and Flanagan. Flanagan's been here a number of times, so he's pretty much family at this point. And then you have Scott Lumpkin, who helped produce that movie, who's local. So it's cool to see all those pieces kind of come together, and then the local crew that was a part of it, who get to add their little bit of flair and help these little local businesses have things appear in the film. So.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I know you talk a lot about it's a pretty film-friendly culture here. Yeah, I know when I was filming the short we just saw, there's a lady that came out and was like, "What are y'all doing?" And I was like, "Yeah, we're making a student film." And she's like, "Oh, that's so cool. What made you pick here?" And I was like, "Well, my friend lives in that house, so."
Yeah, you're more likely in Mobile to get stopped by someone wanting to know what you're actually filming, than to be stopped because they want you to stop filming. It's one of the special things that they just want to be a part of it. And the coolest part about our community is that when you ask them to show up, they show up. And when you ask them to keep a wall, treat it like a normal job, they treat it like a normal job. It allows our actors to be able to go out to dinner in the area and experience Mobile and Lower Alabama without getting ambushed by people. Gives them a little bit of sense of normalcy, which is really nice.
Yeah.
You're not going to get that everywhere. And so we pride ourselves on keeping the privacy and keeping that wall, but allowing that wall to come down when we need them. And then the community shows up.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. We're going to go to commercial break, and we'll be right back with another guest, so stay tuned.
Good morning, Agent Sinclair. Can you feel the weight of every decision you've ever made?
Got an interest in television production? Join JAG TV as we explore our greatest depths of creativity and digital experiences.
My name is Horatio Walker. I am the manager over the Prowl 97.1. We are a campus student-run radio station here on South's campus. Pretty much we just play music, and also we have different programs that students can come and join. We're always looking for volunteers, people to come in, talk about what they're passionate about. We have, programs that show, people talking about their songs, songs that they're passionate about, songs that they love. There's this one, her name is Sophia. She comes on and she talks about different genres of music, I think from different cultures. She brought her German professor on to talk about, German rap, and that was interesting. Joining the Prowl is a great opportunity for you to not only learn about yourself, but for us as peers to learn about you. So this is the opportunity you can come on and share those interests. And so yeah, I would encourage anyone coming in, please check out the Prowl. You know, we're always looking for volunteers. So yeah, I would strongly encourage them to check us out.
Welcome back. The next guest we have with us is a computer science major. He's a producer of a new short film coming out, and also he started the 3D printing club here at the school. Braxton, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Daniel, for having me.
Well, I know you've been hard at work editing the film. We actually, just saw the trailer at the beginning of that commercial break.
Yeah.
And maybe we can show it again in a minute. But why don't you tell us a little more about the film?
Yeah, man, great question. So the film actually was born, the idea of it, probably about a year ago now. The main actor in it, Derek Moore, we worked at a steel mill together. Through a program, we found each other and we started talking about this idea. And I honestly can't even tell you like what the day that it popped into our heads. But we started working on the screen, play for it, and then about a year later, we started talking after we met at the Film Society, and you were like, oh, if you're ever working on anything, and you were the first person I thought of. Then we got you, then we got Phoebe, so it naturally built up, and a production studio came around. And was like, oh, we kind of like it. So they lent us a lot of equipment. They've been a great help. So super grateful for all the hands that were involved with it, and it's coming out this Saturday, actually May 3rd.
Nice. And I know you 3D printed some of the props and things. There's a combination of friends and like me and the people you just kind of met along the way. Maybe tell us a little more about making a film on borrowed time with borrowed equipment.
Yeah, that's actually a great way to put it. It was really just like I felt bad, asking. I was asking y'all's time. I was asking for these 2 Blackmagic 6Ks, gimbals, audio equipment. Sergio gave me, Sergio with all this entertainment, lent me like 3-4 terabyte SanDisk drives. I've never seen this much storage in my life, And I was like, what do I owe you? And he was like, you just make me a promise you'll finish the movie. And I was like, all right, okay. But yeah, after work on the weekends is really when we put in the time. And that's why we kind of scheduled around, really only shooting on the weekends, those Saturdays. But I think all in all, it went pretty smooth to be the first. Like I had zero idea walking into it what to expect. And I think for what it was and what we shot for, it turned out pretty okay.
Yeah, I know you first told me about this at like the beginning of last fall semester.
Yeah.
And, so obviously there's a lot of planning going in, or at least, a lot of thought and even organization. In fact, like this is probably one of the first projects I worked on where we were like coordinating with the film office, getting permits, which is pretty cool. Tell us a little more about, what the planning was like, the concept art and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so, obviously we had a rough draft. I started with index cards, just writing the story, blocking out, and just saying like, oh, what needs to go here, what needs to go here. And originally it was going to be multiple actors. I really didn't have a gauge on how long it was going to be. And we had like the theory in mind of, you know, the science behind the technology in the movie. Like we wanted it to feel real, and we talked about that in one of our initial sit-down meetings. And then you recommended it to Kelly, and then after going to Kelly, I was like, here's what we want to do. Can we do it? And you were so nice enough to like get us all the permits, and you told us everything, and you got us in touch with a lot of really good people, so I really appreciate it. But it was once we had the idea down, and then it was like the technical part that scared me, because I think the story kind of came naturally because we just loved talking about it so much. Anytime me and Derek, you know, got some free time, we discussed more about it. Does this make sense? Does this make sense? And it was more, like I said, that technical side. So having you and Sergio, and that's what scared me. But once we got that figured out with the equipment, then it came down to organization. And we actually used a really cool app, Studio Binder. It's like an online service, like $50 a month. That may sound like a lot to a college kid, but it was so worth it in the end, because we uploaded the screenplay. It automatically split the scenes down. It got us call sheets. It got us, you know, where's the VFX shots? What props do we need? And that really, I attribute Studio Binder and everybody's help to like really making this thing pretty organized. I mean, the day we shot in Cathedral Square, the battery cable was probably the biggest scare we had. We were running off one single Blackmagic battery, and we have like 20 extras in the middle of the square. And I was like, oh, dude. And you were like, we'll charge in the car between takes. And but it worked out.
I think what we ended up calling Sergio or something. He's like, check the bag for the gimbal. It was like, why would it be in there?
Why do you put a battery cable? I love Sergio to pieces, but that man, he just threw that cable in wherever he wanted. But we ran back and got it from Innovation Portal, so it all worked out pretty well.
Yeah, you mentioned Studio Binder. I know I've seen like a lot of Studio Binder videos, because they talk about all kinds of stuff, and I feel like that's like, you know, like we who are interested in film, we're kind of visual learners.
Mm-hmm.
So
for sure,
there's lots of like visual stuff out there on YouTube, which is you know, it's lots of useful stuff out there. You know, it's in the visual medium for learning. So thank you very much for joining us. I think we're about out of time.
Yeah.
But this was pretty cool.
Yeah,
Hopefully we can do it again sometime.
This was awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Danny.
Thanks
Appreciate
for
it.
having us.
Thank you.